this event. With that being said, though, we are ready. We are good to go here for Super Meat Boy 100%. Shredberg, let's show off this amazing run. It's all yours.
Hello everybody, as was just introduced, I'm Shredberg. I'm going to be doing Super Meat Boy 106%. I'll get into why it's 6 and not 100% in a minute, but let's learn how to play. So we don't want to hit like saws and stuff. When we touch the pink character, we're happy, and we get bandages, and that does something, I don't know. So we're going to figure out what that does in just a second here. So we'll start in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So Super Meat Boy game came out 2010. At this point, almost 13 years ago. That seems crazy because I remember playing this game when it like came out. It doesn't feel like it's been that long, but it really has because I am old. As you can see, this game is, when you're playing with Meat Boy, at least primarily run and jump. There you saw me pause, and that's a thing called auto jump. So that's going to let me jump on every single frame that the game, basically every single frame. I'll get a little bit more into that, but as we saw here, I just went into a warp zone, so this is hard to call them secret because a lot of them are just out in the open, but I guess sort of bonus levels in here. These ones, there's basically 3 or 4 types. There's these regular retro ones, then there's black and white retro ones, then there's ones that have custom characters in them, and this one is just, you know, one of your basic retro ones. So it's going to have 2 bandages in here and 3 levels. So as we're going across, obviously this is Completithon, so we're completing everything. What we need to do is beat all of the levels in here and collect all of the bandages, you know, all the warp zones, and then there's also a thing called a glitch level that I'll get into in a minute. And we're just trying to do all those as quickly as we can. Once we get a certain amount of bandages, we'll unlock characters. We'll see that near the end of the chapter when we get a character unlock. But back to that auto jump thing. So I can combine that auto jump to do a thing called storage jump. So right there, I essentially just jumped off of the ground using auto jump. There's some levels coming up that's gonna, I guess, better showcase that. But essentially what happens is when you touch Bandage Girl, your last position is stored. So let's say I was on the ground there, so I was able to jump on the very first frame off of basically an invisible ground, because Meat Boy actually starts slightly above the ground. You'll notice that like on all the characters. If you just look at them going, they'll be slightly above the ground when they're getting started, rather than on the ground. And so that lets you get a little bit more height if you use storage jump. I use auto jump to get that storage jump, or else it'd be frame perfect, the very first frame that Meat Boy would be allowed to jump. And auto jump makes that
Shred,
frame
sorry to
perfect
interrupt.
input.
Do you have a moment?
I just need to.
Yeah, I just need to let people know, due to a technical glitch, we need to reload our scene, but that may cause a flash on screen, so just warning everyone about that.
Okay.
Back to you.
Gotcha. Alright, this is one of the more fun bandages. Alright, got it first try. So when we're going through these levels, these 20 levels, we need to beat all of these in a certain amount of time, as we're going to enter another warp zone. And so it's called the A+ time. And basically it's a par time. Each level is different, and so we need to do those to get the dark levels, which are going to be basically remixed versions of those. So on 118, that level I got the bandage, said that was cool. That one has like a 4-second time, and so most of the time that's pretty difficult to do while getting under the A+ time, while getting the bandage, but that specific strat allows us to do both. Alright, gonna do a little cycle skip here. It wants you to like head under there as well, but we're just gonna skip it. And then we got Head Crab as our first, well actually I guess second unlockable character. I kind of passed over the fact that we got Commander Video in that warp zone, who's cool but not gonna be useful in this run. We got Head Crab from the hit game Half-Life. Not used in this run either. Less useful, one of the least useful characters in the game. And now that we've beaten all 20 of these levels in this game, we're going to go on to the first boss of the game, which is essentially an auto-scroller. Technically, we're running as quickly as we can through it, but you can't beat it any faster without using like major glitches, which is not allowed in this category. So while there's plenty of glitches in this, there's just no major glitches on there. But yeah, very easy first boss. just kind of chill there after getting through it pretty quickly. Kind of no pressure as well, because there's some strats you can technically do to get across that really fast, but it's like there's no point in doing them because it doesn't save you anything. It'd be really stupid and risky to do some of them, but... And also, I don't even know how much time it would save. I don't think anyone has timed it, because it would be, again, useless. And so now we're going into the dark version of the levels, which, as you can see, are basically just harder remixed versions of the levels. For the most part, they're pretty similar in terms of layout. Some of them a little bit more different than others, but these ones are not. All right, we're gonna go for a skip here. I haven't done it in a while. Oh, cool, and we got Glitch Girl. Okay. I need to explain what Glitch Girl is. Basically, once you beat the boss of a level, or a world actually, there's an RNG chance that at the end of the level where Bandage Girl is, it looks glitched out. Hence the name Glitch Girl. It's RNG on whether or not that happens. It's your chapter completion percentage over 2001. So as you're going through the chapter, obviously your chances of it go up, but it's still pretty unlikely. Once you beat the chapter, those odds do go up. It goes up to, I believe it's just a flat 1 in 11. So it essentially doubles or more your odds you would get otherwise. So it's nice to get Glitch Girl while you're going across. If you do the math, it ends up being that most of the chapters are around a 55% chance of you getting Glitch Girl, just like not really having to go back and do levels afterwards. Because if we were to get through this chapter and... sorry, I had to concentrate for a second. If we were to get through that chapter without seeing Glitch Girl, we would have essentially had to go to a level, died a bunch of times in a row before Glitch Girl pops up. Because Glitch Girl will basically like appear once you get into a level. Whoops. But then once you die, it'll repeat. So one thing you don't want to do is, let's say you see Glitch Girl at the beginning of the level, and then you die, it goes away. So that is one thing that you absolutely don't want to do. When Glitch Girl pops up, you absolutely need to live. But fortunately here in Dark Forest, we're not going to have to worry about that. We did a little skip last time to get that warp zone, and we're going to do it again. That's a fun little skip right there. That's like a very, when it starts to get into like, oh dang, I shouldn't have let go of auto jump. Oh, well, I messed that up. There's a way to get that bandage by just going around, not landing on top of that thing, which is easier. It saves a cycle here. We essentially have to wait now, which isn't a big deal. It's like 2 seconds, but I personally like saving 2 seconds. A little interest of mine. All right, we're gonna just wait there. Oh, I could have gotten that. I'm trying to get this through. Like, I'm currently, my goal in this game is to try to get through 106 Deathless. So, and then sort of de-rusted the speedrun strats pretty recently for this. So one thing that's like throwing me off is sometimes I'll be like, ooh, I should do this, and then I'll just like be overly patient, but it's like it's a speedrun. Whereas when I'm going for it Deathless, it is, you know, very necessary, because, well, you know, you can get it like 80-90% of the time, but 10% is actually a lot. Okay, I missed the auto jump there. It's unfortunate. Or a storage jump, rather. If you do it off of a wall, so when you do a wall jump, you actually immediately get full horizontal speed, as well as you get, oh, there I am again, going safe. Yeah, wall jumps give you max vertical and horizontal speed, so, can be very useful to get storage off of a wall at the end of it. So now we're going on to the second chapter of the game, Hospital. I again did a safe strat, that's fun. It starts to really like ramp up in difficulty, although Dark Forest is probably a bit harder than Hospital, but you know how games work. You've played video games. I think that it's safe to say we've all played our share of video games here on this stream. It gets a little bit harder as you go through it. Pretty normal stuff. It introduces these fans which sort of push you across. They can be a little bit funky, but there we sort of, you know, very quickly fall down to that bandage, which is cool. Using auto jump here again. So one thing about auto jump that might seem a little bit, I don't know, counterintuitive, is the fact that like even TAS uses auto jump. It does it faster, obviously, because it's TAS, but Normally when you're jumping right, you're holding down a button and then you let go and then you press the button again. So in order to do a jump with a single button, or 2 jumps, that's 3 frames. Whereas with auto jump, you do that all, that 2 jump is in 2 frames. So it'll always be faster to do auto jump. It's just a matter of how quickly, oh gosh, messed it up. How quickly you do auto jump. That is character Jill, another character that is not particularly useful for this category. Kind of decent from like a what's it called standpoint, casual standpoint, but not very good for the speed run. Just kind of slow. As we're here about halfway through hospital. I think now would be a good time if you have any donations, if you have any, you know, anything to bring up. That would be the perfect time as we're just going through these levels.
Absolutely, yeah. I just want to talk to everyone about the charity that we're raising money for. Completithon 2021 is raising money for Somos Familia. It's a community-based organization created and led by local, low-income, first-generation college students who are LGBTQ plus people of color in the San Fernando Valley area. It is a super small, super grassroots organization. They have around, just last year, they got just over $50,000 in annual funding. So, like, just think about like how much of an impact even $1, $2 can make. So get your donations in. You can donate by either typing !donate in the chat or following the link, or you can scroll below the screen in our stream bio and click the big donate button.
Okay, so one interesting thing here, you're gonna look to see, I paused at the beginning, I did some menuing, and now, as we can see, the timer is like at all zeros, and so it's a thing called timer glitch. So I'm gonna be going, basically backtracking in this level to get this bandage. It is like, I don't even know if it's possible. I think it's not possible to get that bandage while getting under the A+ time, because remember, we have to unlock those dark levels. So in order to do that, we do a thing called timer glitch, where we pause the game before the timer gets started. Say we're going to exit the game, it's going to say, are you sure? We're going to say, no, we're not sure. Once you unpause the game from there, for whatever reason, the timer just stops working. And the game actually reads off of that timer value that never started. Or I guess it's reading the same thing. I don't know, actually. But either way, once you do that, you beat the level at 0.0. Obviously, 0 is less than whatever the A+ time is on every single level. So that's a way for us to get on any level where we're not sure, or, you know, we can't get a bandage at the same time as getting an A+, we'll do that. If we didn't do that, we would have to play the levels twice, which is slow. On that one, it would be about 7 seconds. I think overall it's about like 40 seconds or so. At some point in my life, I knew how much time it lost, but right now, I'm older and less wise, so I don't know. Alright, well, I guess we're waiting for this laser to go here. Yeah, there's going to be another one coming up in just like one level. So right here, we're actually using storage, again, wall storage, and then we're doing that to skip a cycle. If we didn't use storage jump there, you actually are like basically not able to get that skip. I think it is technically possible, but it would require like, I don't know, some really weird stuff that wouldn't be consistent. This level's cool. There's like a skip that would be able to do, but I'm not going to be able to go for it. I don't think. I haven't done it in 2 years, I think. I might have been able to get it there. Basically, instead of going back the way I came, you can go through a separate way, which is kind of, I don't know if that's the way the game intends you to go, but it sort of seems like it is. Going to go for like a 1 second time save. Dang, just missed it. You can use the storage there to like get that block, which is cool. Saves about a second, maybe less, but it's cool time save. In 106, it kind of doesn't make sense to go for it in like overall in runs, just because your chances of it's such a difficult thing to get that you're probably not going to get it more than like 30% of the time. And it's just, if you don't get it, you lose like almost more time than you saved. Anyways, this is Chad. Right now I'm going to grab this key before the screen stops scrolling, and so that's just going to make it not stop at all. Normally what happens is the screen stops and then Chad like does his attack animation, and then you have to wait there for like 8 seconds and then it goes back up. But if you grab the key before the screen stops scrolling, it just doesn't stop scrolling at all because it never starts that animation, which is cool, and that saves you quite a bit of time. As you can see, this game's pretty fast. We're already in the 3rd chapter, Salt Factory. One thing you might be noticing is like, well, why didn't you go back and get why didn't you go back and do Dark Hospital? Oh, I messed this up. You have to make sure that you, when you're doing timer glitch, that you don't unpause too quickly. The way that the timer will start is basically like when the character, their spawn animation is complete. And if you unpause before that, you don't get the timer glitch and you have to redo it. Just like what I did. But anyways, yeah, we're not doing Dark Hospital. We're skipping that. And that is because we're really trying to optimize when we get the character Nyjah unlocked. Nyjah is extremely good, extremely fast, and is going to cut off minutes from this run. But guess what? We get this guest character, I said ghost, Joseph, who basically gets this like super high jump. The way that Joseph works is that it essentially looks at the character's velocity when you jump. And one thing also, if you like run off a platform instead of jumping off, you get like a jump in the middle of the air. And then your second jump is essentially what I think it was intended to be, basically a hover ability, by, you know, giving you a boost to your speed vertically, just vertically, not horizontal or anything. And if you are to press jump twice in quick succession, you get just like a mega jump. You can get max jump every single time if you use auto jump, but you don't really need to do that, and I'll explain why in a second as I get through this. And I also need to explain what I'm about to do at the end of this, because it's very confusing. It looks like I just run off to my death, but there's actually another bandage girl like off screen there, which is like, that doesn't make any sense. But the way that the like the level creator works in the game is it just lets you put down whatever resource you want. It doesn't really care if it's a second bandage girl or not. So most likely when that level was getting made, they accidentally clicked somewhere and then didn't realize it until way later that like, oh, we have a second bandage girl here. And it just so happens that it is, if you just run off of that platform from there, it's perfectly aimed so you can just run off and hit it. So the way that I do it only probably saves like a half second. There's a cooler way to do it, but I don't know. Not everything needs to be cool. Dang it, we died. But this is a good showcase of Joseph's abilities. Oh, okay. We're not going to touch that. But that's how I think that they intended that little hover right there. But we're just going to use it to get like super ultra mega height. Just cool. And you might be asking, well, wait, why are you going through and doing these 3? You're basically backtracking to do 3 dark salt levels. That's a little bit weird. As I explained earlier, we want to get Nyjah. We want to get Nyjah really quick. This just so happens that we would be exiting the map anyways on those 2 light salt levels, and all 3 of those levels in a row have bandages. So it's really advantageous for us to just do those because we need to get 50 bandages really fast. And that gives us an extra 3 for, you know, just the future. And they're also like not much faster, if at all, with Nyjah on all of those levels. Nyjah, in terms of like individual level world records, holds probably, in terms of levels that would be eligible for, there's some chapters that you cannot use Nyjah on, which we'll get to later. But for the ones that she's eligible for, it's like 80% of them, maybe even more. That might be an under exaggeration. So, but those ones, I think, at least 2 of them does not have, which is kind of crazy. So really just advantageous levels to get bandages, and is not particularly slow either. So a really cool and sort of clever. Okay, we're gonna go for a skip here. I haven't done the skip in a while, but it's pretty straightforward. Okay, I almost died. But we didn't die. Almost. Let me tell you, folks, doesn't count. We skipped that. Normally, of course, you're supposed to wait behind that. I was a little bit scared there. It's really straightforward, but I have not done that in like, I don't know, a year. So, that's cool. I kept forgetting to do it in my D-Rust. Oh, I need to remember not to get Ogmo here. We're actually saving Ogmo for later, which is a cool time save. Last time I did a run, I forgot. Last time being like a day or two ago. Alright, so we're getting through this. We gotta do this cool skip right here. I died, so we'll try it again. We need to grab that bandage and oh god, did I miss it? Okay, we got it back. We need to do a little skip. I messed it up again. Come on. There we go. We need to get up there so we can get that bandage. If we don't do that, we can do a timer glitch, but that level's actually really weird with a timer glitch. Those saws that go across kind of end up in different locations. So it makes it really difficult. All right, last level of this Light World. This is one of them where A+ can be in risk, so I can't mess up really. Like I can, but it has to be like little baby mess ups. Fortunately for this one, it's kind of like if you mess up most of the time, you die. And yeah, I got up by about a second and a half. All right, so here's Brownie. You're supposed to go through and do this like whole race. If you just go to the side of the screen and do what's called a sprint jump, you can do it. So you can't do a normal jump. So a normal jump, right, you're just doing whatever. But let me explain what a sprint jump is as we're going to go into Dark Hospital. We're going to go back there now. So when you're playing as Meat Boy, when you jump off of a wall, the game gives you the max speed, but there's two max speeds. There's max speed of having sprint held, and there's max speed of having sprint not held. Obviously, when sprint is held, you're going to have higher speed. So if you jump off of a wall, not having sprint held, and then you press sprint immediately, you actually are going to then, you actually also accelerate. I don't know. It ends up being faster. You stay closer to the wall. I'm messing up this explanation. All you need to know, you stay closer to the wall when you do those things, that process. It's cool, lets you skip all of Brownie, and that can save a lot of time. It's like 20 seconds. It is one of the biggest skips in there. Ooh, almost. I like to go and like not hit the ground there, touching Bandage Girl. It does save time to do that, but like a negligible amount. But the absolute... Oh, flashing light warning, by the way. Sorry about that. I should have warned like 10 seconds before. It's nothing too bad, but it is like flashing and annoying. Okay, well, it's gonna go again, so apologies. We are just a couple levels away from getting Nyjah, and that's when the run is really gonna open up, and you're gonna see why. This is a fun little skip here, where we just like time it to go right above those lasers. Climb this tower, and they're just gonna fall right to a bandage. Alright, cool. Yeah, we are 2 levels away, so we have 48 bandages. The next 2 levels, they got some bandages. So Nyjah, just to pre-explain, is going to be a character with a dash, but pretty unlike most games with characters that dashes you've ever played. Oh, this is a level with a big old skip. So most of the time when you go out of bounds in this game... Okay, I died. Right there, as you saw, I died going out of bounds. If you're off of the camera's view, you have very little room for you to move. So if you just very carefully maneuver around so that you are not seen by the camera, you can go and basically skip all those levels. Oh, okay. I've never landed there before. That was weird. Anyways, this is Nyjah. The way that the dash works is really unique, and here we're going to try to... Oh, okay. I missed it. Nyjah can clip through blocks. Should have clipped through that one, but unfortunately missed it. Oh, I keep doing that. But yeah, so the way that it works essentially is when you hold down the special button, which is basically the sprint button. It's sprint for Meat Boy. For Nyjah, it's special. When you hold it down, you go into like a bubble state. Oh god, I'm dead. And then when you let go of the button, then you dash. And the dash essentially adds to like basically the velocity that you have. So because of that, oh gosh, I missed the cycle. That's fine. Because of that, how much you're falling depends on what your speed is going to be after the dash. So it makes things like this one right here a little bit more complicated than just lining up on the right pixel. So you not only need to have the right positioning, but you need to have the right speed as well, which can make this character like kind of difficult to get down compared to a lot of other characters with dashes. Oh my gosh. All right, that's fine. One thing that is interesting is the game's characters all basically have different like gravities that they put, so you accelerate down faster with Nyjah, and because of I just straight up did not press the dash button. Like my finger was there on the dash button, but I just didn't press it. Like I missed it. It was a whiff. Does it feel like, you know, like if you had like a professional athlete, like a baseball player, just like with a T-ball right there, and then they just missed the T-ball little thing, like the ball on the tee. That's what I felt like. Oh no. Okay, so what happened there is there's some things called half blocks in this game, which essentially they are, as it sounds, like half of a block, but they're really janky and they can sometimes act like a full block. Okay, and that's what it did right there for me. So I thought that I was going to be jumping off of a wall, but it basically didn't let me, which sounds like I'm just making that up, but I promise that it is true. All right, gotta climb there pretty fast. If you're fast enough, you can like dash through that center laser before it goes up, but didn't get it there. Okay, so we needed to get Glitch Girl at some point in this. And we didn't unless it's right here. Oh no, that'd have been crazy. Dang it. Dashed above. So we're gonna have to... I forget what level you grind on. Oh, I think it's this. Oh, whoops. I didn't need to do that. I think it's this one. Then you switch to Nyjah. I just had like... I've done several D-Rust runs. And none of them on this chapter have gone bad in terms of RNG, so we're just gonna legit just die until we see Glitch Girl pop up, which hopefully will be like 11 or so. Looks like this luck is not particularly good. Oh, there we go. No! Okay, alright, cool, there we go. We're fine. There we go, everything's a-okay. Alright, we got Glitch Girl. It's gonna be the last level that we have in here. Not the best Dark Hospital, let me tell you folks. It's all because we missed that clip. If we got the clip, this would have been like a Dark Hospital to remember. But this one's not. One thing to note here is if you see those little spikes and the like lava things, they have much bigger hitboxes than it looks like. So you have to be really careful. So sometimes it might look like I'm like well safe, but I'll be taking it really easy. It's really not necessarily that. Sometimes you have to be that far away to not die. All right, now we're in hell. This is where the game like notoriously gets pretty hard casually, and then like for the most part with speedrunning. With Nyjah, it's honestly not that bad. Like a lot of the levels with like crazy hard skips end up being a lot easier with Nyjah, surprisingly enough. Like this level in any percent is pretty notorious for like being a run killer, but in 106 it's pretty straightforward, which is nice. Oh, whoops. I can still maybe get it with an A+. I did it. Nice. All right, here we're gonna go underneath these. Oh, whoops. I should... No, I don't know. All right, that was fine. I don't know if that saved time compared to doing it the other one, but it looked cool either way, which is a bonus for me. Yeah, and here we got another warp zone. there's basically 4 per chapter. There's 3 in the light worlds, and then there's 1 in the dark world. Here you have to hold down left at the beginning of this level, and you can jump over these. They don't actually get a hitbox until like when they shoot out. All right, I'm gonna go for something here where I just jump. Nice. That shot's cool. I don't know how much time it saves, but it's kind of not worth it because it's like pretty precise, and it's maybe a half second. I don't know. Depends on how slow you set up a wall jump. All right, this one is another level with like a very fast A+, but we got it. Cool skip here where we go underneath and wrap around. Oh, I missed the dash button. This is like the second time today. Feels good. All right, those lasers, they don't actually start going until like a half second into the level, so you just do a quick U-turn and you got it. That's another thing about Nyjah that is very like not like most. Nyjah's not like other girls, okay? Her dash can go like 360 on a dime. And that's pretty cool. Lets you do a lot of funky stuff, go around corners and things, and just do things really quickly. I am like self-proclaimed as pretty intermediate at Nyjah, which might seem like it's self-deprecating, but like if you ever get bored, go onto like the Super Meat Boy IL leaderboards and just look at some of like the top times on those. They go crazy. They go crazy, dude. Oh gosh, I should be fine. Oh, we're fine. Oh, okay. I like never mess up on that level, so I just did not know what to do. But we were fine. Alright, gonna do like just this level as Meat Boy, because you can just jump over these. You can do that faster with Nyjah, but I'm pretty slow at that level with Nyjah. Oh, shoot. Okay. With Meat Boy, there's like a lot of improv, I would say, going on. But with Nyjah, you want to keep the improv to a minimum. Alright, this is a level that you technically can. Please. Alright, whatever. I'm going for a clip there, which I'm still gonna do. But can be very, like, I don't know, difficult to get. I need something, there we go, called a super dash, which is frame perfect. Oh, nice, that's a cool thing. But yeah, you need a frame perfect input and some like pretty good execution, so it can be kind of hard. Also, there was an eyeball there that disappeared. That is only doable on the Linux version, maybe also the Mac version. I think they're the same version. But the eyeballs can disappear. Nobody knows why, actually. I think that it has something to do with like the animation of the characters as like they try to change and then something weird happens and I don't know. They disappear because the game's confused. I don't know why. If anyone was to make those consistent, it would actually make Linux like crazy fast on every single category. It's already faster actually, but like only because this game is timed RTA and there's no load times on this. Whereas Windows, every single time that you do a like exit to map or enter a boss with a cutscene or anything. Oh, there we go. I didn't need to do that. But there's supposed to be an eyeball in that room with a key, but there wasn't. All right, now here's everyone's favorite boss. It actually kind of is my favorite boss of this game. It's Littlehorn. He's going to slam his hands down a few times. We're going to stand right in this position and we're going to jump 3 times. So we're already like 2/3 of our actions through this boss. We're going to jump one more time. We're just going to stand here. So, yeah, if there's any donations or anything, if there wasn't donations, let me tell you, chat right now. Get those donations in. But yeah, anything you need to say or any donations, now's the time.
Yeah, unfortunately, we did not have any donations come in the last couple of minutes, but I can always talk about the charity. We're here raising money for Somos Familia. Yes, sorry. I'm German, I have an excuse. And yeah, if you happen to be in the local San Fernando area, you can actually go to their website at www.somosfamilia.org. I'll post in the chat after this as well. And you can see what all they have to offer. They have local support groups for youths ages 2 to 17. They have a space for queer and trans men of color. All of that beautiful stuff to help support the local LGBTQ plus community and people of color in the San Fernando area. Super small charity. Just any single dollar, every cent matters for this charity. So even if you just have $1 to spare, which is the minimum amount to donate on Tiltify, please get those donations in. Hey, maybe we can get a $1 donation train going. It's nothing. $1. But if, 10, 20 people do that.
Yeah, let's get those donations in, guys. All right, so right now we're in Rapture, which is I don't know, it's probably my least favorite chapter, not because the levels aren't fun, but it's just like there's a lot of places where you die and then the levels get like much longer and they start to be like pretty punishing. And it also has this next warp zone coming up, which is like, if you played the game, pretty notorious. I think it's the thing where like overall, if you're like, oh, what's the one thing that you're most proud of, it's beating this warp zone, which is the kid warp zone. Of course, from I Want to Be the Guy. This is a guest character. Does not have a gun in this game. Meat Boy canonically is in like a sort of like post-utopian society where there are no guns, except for Dr. Fetus has a gun. It's the only character that has one, but the kid doesn't have one because, law abiding and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, pretty notoriously hard level, especially this one right here. And this third elevator really gets people, but let's see what we can do here. Alright, cool. We should be good. The first and fourth ones are pretty easy, but it always feels pretty bad to die on this fourth one. Alright, we got it. Like a reference to like... Oh gosh, that's not how I know... Okay, I don't know. Now I am off cycle. What am I doing? Alright, we're good. No! We're not good. We're not good. Okay, we're just gonna do the slower one. I'm messing it up. I just did the same thing. That's not even how you do it. Alright, whatever. We almost got through Kid Deathless. That would have been so sick. But we didn't. It was still kinda sick, though, getting through the first two. It's kind of like you get, like... You mentally sort of have checked out, but it's not done yet, But we almost got there. Alright, as you can see there, I did not play the first level. I'll get into that as, I guess, well, I messed that one up. That's like a choice I have between doing that with Meat Boy and doing it with Nyjah. Okay, I got the key, so... No! I messed up the turnaround there. I don't know how many frames you have to do, like, in-air turns, but it's not a ton. But it's enough to where it's like pretty consistent. I think it's like 6, 10. I don't know. I'm just kind of making up numbers. But it's like enough to where it's pretty easy to get a little turnaround. But you can mess it up sometimes. I don't know. Alright, this one has a bandage that's like, I said like, oh, I would have never, I like looked up this bandage casually when I did it, and then like in stream I said that, and I got someone who said, oh, that one's like very easy, you can clearly see it, and like, no, you can't clearly see it. I felt like I was getting like gaslit, I don't know. Maybe I just have bad eyes, I don't know. But I felt like that one was very difficult to see. Not the most in like the game, but like relatively speaking. Alright, we got a little thing where we're jumping through some saws here. Nice. With Meat Boy, you can do that too, but with Nyjah, fortunately, it's much easier. Oh gosh. Alright. Yeah, those things come back. Alright, now we're off to another warp zone. Sunshine Island. Nice and peaceful. Really cool. I do really like the orange with the big sun in the background. I think that, like, aesthetically speaking, it is the coolest warp zone of... Are you kidding me? Okay. I pressed jump a little, like, 1 frame early. One thing about, like, modern platformers that this game does not have, it is, input buffering. And so that means that you will have a lot of like early inputs compared to other games. And it is like, I think that was honestly like a pretty conscious choice by the devs. It's not like games weren't doing, even though it's way more normal now to have input buffering. Like, definitely seems like it was like they thought about it. They just want this game to be like as mean as possible. Sort of its MO is, you know, Dr. Fetus and the pause screen can give you the middle finger. And I think that that just sort of explains how the game feels to play. It's just sort of like mocking you, being like, you can't beat this, you're not, oh, whoops. That was way late. You're not going to be able to do this, and so that's sort of like, if you're the person who doesn't... Okay, I'm just going to Meat Boy. I don't actually know, oh my gosh. I don't know how I messed that one up, but I did. So we're just going to go Meat Boy really quick. But yeah, this game's mean, basically, is the, sort of the TLDR of that. I had like a bigger word there that I wanted to use, but like I forgot what it was, and then I was like, the only thing that came to mind is TLDR, which makes me feel just like a Redditor, but that's fine. Sometimes the Redditor in all of us just lurks its head out, you know what I mean? Alright, this is a fun one because it's actually like, it looks kind of like really scary because you're like floating on things and like pretty close to a bunch of those, but it's actually really easy. You just go off there, you do like one dash, and then you, I don't know, you just kind of do those dashes and it ends up working out. Naija in general is like pretty difficult to get going on runs. Notoriously so. It gets some people to like not want to do 106 because they don't want to learn how to play as Naija on like even the level that I'm doing, which again is not like top tier necessarily. It's good, but you can go so much higher. But it throws people off because even getting that beginner level can be very intimidating and very difficult. Alright, now we're going to go into everyone's least favorite boss, is Larry. This is a 100% RNG boss. I'm doing something right here to like manipulate RNG a little bit. Didn't really work out for me, but it did separate the cycles. Okay, well, it still didn't work out. Essentially, that first cycle, that first time a worm can possibly jump into one of those saw blades, each one of them has a 50% chance of jumping. So, okay, that wasn't that bad. That was like a 5 or 6 cycle, which is about average. The median rather than the mean there in terms of average. The mean is probably like an 8 cycle, a 7 cycle, whereas the median is probably like a 5 to 6 cycle on that one. But anyways, that can go on for, in theory, forever. It's just, once you get that first one, which again is 50% chance for each worm, it goes to 25% after a while, or not after a while, after the first worm dies. Doing that pause strat actually gives us like 2 chances at a 50%, because we're essentially like allowing a jumping animation to go on in the background, and then it immediately jumps. Normally only one worm can jump at once. This is a lot better if you have a bad Larry and then you're explaining as it's like being shown to you. But anyways, you do that, and so the other one can be in the air, and while that Larry is in the air, it actually doesn't know that one is already jumping, so potentially a second one can jump. It's still doing that calculation at 50%. Once one of them has died and hit the saw, it goes to 25%. So getting 2 to jump like immediately is pretty, it's pretty nice. Okay, well, went for like a skip here, which is pretty cool and pretty cool looking, but messed it up. It's okay. We'll just do it the old-fashioned way. Sometimes that's exactly what you need, you know what I mean? Like, get an old-fashioned root beer, put a thing of vanilla ice cream in there, can't be beat, you know what I mean? It's exactly what that is. That strat is the root beer float of Super Meat Boy strats. Alright, we're gonna go on, we're gonna go back into the level and then go into the boss. This is very important. You do that if you want to lose about 2 seconds. But this is the final boss of the game, Not like the final boss, actually, because there's like a secret hidden one that's not actually hidden, but there's a second boss. We'll get to that at the very end of the game. But this should be, I mean, it is an auto-scroll, and we're supposed to be behind that like big saw. You see those saws over there that's sort of coming near us? We're supposed to be like in between those because there's another one as well. But we're gonna just jump over it and go back to the end here, which seems problematic, right? Not because like we're doing things that the devs didn't intend or that kind of thing, like the YouTube commenter problematic, but it's problematic seemingly because like the saws should pass by us, and that would, in theory, that should kill us, right? Like those saws should pass by us and we should die. But when you're on a button, for whatever reason, you have invincibility, and we're going to use that to our advantage. As we see here, we're just going to get passed by, and we're going to be fine. I don't know why that works. I have a feeling, like, I've never asked this to the devs. Shoot. But I have a feeling they specifically gave you invincibility on buttons so that could work. Like, that was something that, like, that is my hunch. All right, this is the escape portion of the final boss. We're gonna like jump out seemingly into the sky, and we're basically gonna jump high enough to where we get the a cutscene trigger. We're supposed to go over and do some platforming and stuff, but we can just trigger it like that, and it's easier. All right, Cotton Alley time. This is the bonus world that you get for beating the game. Kind of notoriously hard. I think that like half of these levels are like pretty straightforward and people get them. Another 5 levels, casually people are like, okay, well, they'll get it if you just give some time. And then there's like 5 other levels in each one of the dark and light worlds where it's just kind of like takes people some time, and they get very, very proud of beating them. As they should. They are correct to be proud. All right, this level and the one before it are both really cool, I think, in terms of strats. Just jumping over being right before a saw blade that's chasing after us. This one's kind of cool. We're just jumping through these purple guys. Oh, okay. This is like one of the easier levels of the first probably 10. We're just gonna die twice to it. That's just the way it kind of is, I feel. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you play really well on the like hard stuff because that's where you've like focused your practice on. Like this one, hard level. But we're gonna get it first try. But 7-6, no way. Impossible. Yeah, the first 10 of these levels I would say like are pretty challenging overall, especially depending on what your strats are. Okay. Well, there's a cycle that, oh gosh, I should be fine. Nope, I jumped into the saw. We're gonna go for it again. Okay, never mind, we're not gonna get it. There's like a cool cycle skip if you're really fast, but it's still kind of cool without it. But in my personal opinion, the cycle skip's a bit cooler. That's fine. If you want to see that, you can, like, I don't know, follow me on Twitch or something, and I'll probably do it at some point in my life. But yeah, not today, unfortunately. This is a auto-scroller. There's like in light cotton, there's only a couple auto-scrollers, and then we get to dark cotton, and that is where there's like 5 or 6 of them, dude. It's like the Super Mario Bros. 3 of Super Meat Boy chapters. There's so many auto-scrollers. This is like my favorite level in the game just because it's like pure platforming, and there's like a couple of skips, and there's actually a lot of skips. There's a lot of things that you can do and like choose to do and all of that in this. That's what I choose to do, roughly a 12-second level, which is pretty fast. But there's some things you can do to get absolutely crazy times on that really fun level. Alright, here's these things. I think that they're called Maws. This level was one I remember when I was first going through. This is like one of the final like 2 or 3 levels that I needed to beat in the game. This one just gave me so much trouble. But then when you find out how to do it, it's actually like really easy, which is, you know, such is life. This one is like, whoa, notoriously hard, as we can see. Once you get these guys down here are called repulsors because they like push you off. Once you get those down, it's pretty straightforward, which can be difficult casually. because it does take quite a bit of time to get used to them. But you know, second try, so obviously not too big of a deal once you get them down. Whoa, almost overjumped it. This level is one of the easier ones, but yeah, once you get past there, you're just kind of doing 4 jumps? I don't know, I can't count. And we are 1 level away from another, like, notorious level in this game just because of how long it is. Most levels in this game, like this whole run, I think, averages about, like, 10 seconds a level. Like, really fast paced. This one's about 40 seconds long. So, it is... Other than the dark version of it, I think so. This would, I guess, be the second longest level in the game. Technically, Fetus is longer. It's that one on both things is like 1 minute and 20 seconds, but that doesn't count because it doesn't have a little timer in the corner. If it does not have a little timer in the corner, not really a level, in my opinion. Like, it's a level, but it's a boss level, so in terms of, like, length, it doesn't count, you know? Alright, pretty good light cotton there. We'll take that. Alright, we're gonna go to dark cotton. Aesthetically, I really like Cotton Alley. Dark, we can see it's, like, very bright white for the background, where we had, like, in light cotton, it was that pink in the background. Pretty reminiscent of the 2021 Breakout album by Turnstile Glow On. 11 years later, so obviously, like, not inspired. I'd be surprised if any of those, whoever made the art, was inspired by the game, but at the same time, I'm gonna claim that it was. So, fun fact. Also a very good record. This one's fun. We just climb up here. Saws don't hit us. Just jump at the specific time. This one's cool because it honestly is, like, fairly straightforward, but I'm gonna mess it up somehow. Never mind. Easy level. That was sick. 12.4. Spicy. Dark Cotton, for, like, better and worse, is kind of like the Mario Maker chapter, I think, of this level, or this game, where there's just so many things where it's like, okay, so your level design on this one was to put, like, 1,000 saws, or, like, have you deal with enemies for 20 seconds as you grab the red key, or the red whatever, I don't know, I said it wrong. Mario, you guys have played Mario Maker, presumably some of you. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, wait. Oh, nope. There's, like, a little skip that I could have done if I had, like, a couple pixels more height, but didn't get it. Oh, well. This level's cool. This is very much, like... Just this game in general is, like, very much like a love letter to 2000s Flash games, and this one is, like, very much like a reference to the game N. The ninja from N is actually a playable character on the console version of the game. The PC and console versions have different characters. The PC characters are just, like, in general way better, especially for, like, RTA speedrunning perspective. ILs, like, there's Spelunky is in the console version, which is cool, and he's pretty good when it comes to getting ILs, but for, like, a full game run, you know, there's nobody that is as good as Nyjah. It's the best character in the game in general. And then even, like, Joseph, who we get pretty early on, there's a character that's comparable and actually a little bit better. It's Pink Knight from Castle Crashers. But unfortunately, you don't get that until 90 bandages. So essentially, you might as well not get them. It's so late in the game. There might be, like, a level where it's useful for if you route it out right, but we in general don't want to change characters in this because that takes time. It's about 2 to 2.5 seconds per character change. So if you go for one level and then back, you're talking about, like, 5 seconds. And it's very, very rare where a character has a 5-second time save. Enough to where you're going to change for a singular level. So in theory, once you get Nyjah, you basically only want to play Nyjah. Unless it's the end where you can only play as Meat Boy, or Cotton Alley where you can only play as Bandage Girl. One of the common questions that comes up is, does Bandage Girl have the same physics as Meat Boy? The answer to that question is yes. They're exactly the same. It's just a reskin. Absolutely zero difference. Whoa. All right, another one of these repulsor levels. This time they're a little bit closer, which honestly lines up really well with like jumping and then going up and down there. So I wouldn't say this level is necessarily easier, but to me it feels slightly easier. I don't know, just my perspective. I like this one. Got all the things. It's one of those where what I have learned is to just sort of like ignore the bullets because that doesn't do anything to know where they are. You just gotta run and jump. I found in general that works. Running and jumping works pretty well, but especially on that one, just ignoring your surroundings, finding your inner peace. You know, like Luke Skywalker on the Death Star kind of thing. Turning off your targeting computer. This level, we just bunch these up and just wait for the key to go on. That's what I was saying. Like, that is the most Mario Maker level of the whole game. Maybe some of those other ones too, like 715X was pretty Mario Maker, but in general, I think that this game has some of the best like platformer design for an indie game, just in general. But I've played Dark Cotton too much to where I'm kind of a hater of it now. Oh, nice. We don't want to hit those walls as we fall down, like either of them, and it's kind of difficult to do that. Oh, dang. I was just a tiny bit slow. I possibly could have made it. I don't want to lose 20 seconds on like that though. I'm not going to sacrifice 20 for a half second. That was pretty good. But yeah, this is like the longest non-boss level in the game. Casually, people say it's easier because the hard part is at the very beginning rather than the light version where the hard part is at the very end. All right. We're going to go back to Rapture, and then I said we're going to talk about something once we got back to Rapture, and it's the fact that I did not do this level, which is kind of weird. It seems silly to not do that. Why would you do that? Now you have to exit back to map and do extra things again. And it's because we want to get Glitch Girl when we're going through this. And we want it on this level specifically because it would actually save a good chunk of time. And why is... We did it! Let's go! Oh my gosh, no way. Right, that's gonna save like 6 seconds. That's so sick. I don't know if this strat has actually worked for me like more than once. This might be the second time ever this strat has worked out for me. But we'll see once we leave this glitch level. We're actually gonna show up on a warp zone tile. Normally when you get the warp zone right, you have to touch the warp zone, but right now we're not going to. Once we go back to the map, we're gonna be like on top of a warp zone tile as we do that drop there, which is like pretty sick. As you can see here, we're just in middle of space where a warp zone is. So we go right in there, saves like 6 seconds. That's pretty cool. The odds of that happening is like 2%. We can also get it on 520x, which would be a much bigger deal. That one's like 15 seconds. But the odds of that happening are like pretty similarly like 2% actually. Because you not only have to think about like the odds of it happening on that specific level, which is around 5%. I think it's more like 4.9 or something. 4.8. But you also have to consider the fact, well, it might be a little bit less than that because you haven't done the warp zone yet. Anyways, I'm doing the thing where I like over-explain things. Caveats when they don't need caveats. Long story short is, if you have a warp zone level and you get Glitch Girl there, you can save a lot of time. And this is probably the second best level for that to happen on. I don't know. Pretty cool. Pretty rare. I think the odds of it just happening on one of the 5 chapters in your run in general is something like 8%, something like that. Pretty rare just to get it on one of them. And some of the levels will save you like 2 seconds. Like, it's almost not noticeable. But getting it on this chapter is a pretty big deal. Alright, final jump right here. Whew. Honestly, harder than it looks. Alright, and now we're just going to sort of play the game as you would expect. We're going to be using Nyjah for the most part here. There's a couple where I might use Meat Boy. I think the last 5 I'll probably be using Meat Boy right now. They're pretty hard with Nyjah. This is potentially one of the hardest Nyjah chapters in the game. This level right here is like one of the harder like Cotton Alley levels, I think. One of the harder non-cotton, at least that doesn't have a bandage, because some of them with bandages can be pretty tough. Even speedrunning wise, this one's pretty tough, but we'll get it first try. But yeah, for the most part, this chapter really is just dashing with Nyjah. We're going to be doing, you know, some skips there. That what we did over there wasn't technically a skip, but we are kind of doing it non-intended, so in that way it's a skip. But this right here kind of like shows how fast Nyjah is. We're just go through it really quick. That's a thing called auto float, which when you hold down the dash button, you do get like a float ability. And that basically just like augments your speed. And then you can use that with auto jump. And with those two together, you basically are allowed to float pretty well. When you're in the float state, you basically accelerate slower, lower acceleration value, so you're able to get up much higher than you would otherwise, which is pretty cool. This next level coming up after this is one of the actually with Nyjah I don't know if it is. I think but I'm doing it with Meat Boy. It's one of the few levels that like RNG can actually like kill you at the end after this like 20-second level. But that's not going to happen here, trust me. It's a sort of a low probability of that happening. And there's ways you can get around it, but okay, they're not set up super great. You don't want them bunched like that. Okay. Yeah, as you can, they were kind of mean there at the end, but we got through it. Oh, whoops. Dude, oh, okay, it worked out. That is not how normally I dash and try to go right into there immediately, but that was on purpose a swag strat, actually. That's pretty cool. Whoa! But yeah, most of the rest of this is going to be Nyjah. Might switch over to Meat Boy for the last 5 levels. Trying to think. Oh gosh, we gotta wait for this button. I tried to go and beat. Okay, I think it's from here that I'm just gonna be doing. No, me going back and forth. This level is like, I wish that I had relearned it with Nyjah, but it's actually like one of the harder Nyjah chapters just in general. For the most part, it's kind of surprising how much easier the game does get when you have like some sort of like ability with Nyjah. You don't have to be very good. You just have to be able to use Nyjah in general. But getting to there can be a struggle. All right, it's probably from here actually that I'll just be using Meat Boy, which is probably the last. Oh no, there's a level that I do in Dark Hell. It's gonna have Meat Boy. Just because that level is faster with Meat Boy, unless you do like a really crazy skip. Pretty sure only one person, the world record holder, I think, does it, and like nobody else. Alright, cool. You gotta carry a rocket there over to get that bandage. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. I got like borderline lucky. Like I knew those are like consistent things that happened, but like it's also kind of lucky that I didn't die. Oh gosh. Why was that saw blade there? I feel like that saw blade is normally to the right a little bit, but it wasn't there. Anyways, this next level is one of these that has like a ton of like rockets shooting everywhere. Oh, well, I messed that up. Missed the jump. But you can actually sort of like hide over here. Oh, and that's where the bandage is. We're gonna get that. I think let's do a little jump over here. Stand here, just jump a few times. Makes it kind of straightforward. This chapter is like the longest by far. There's like so many. Again, most of the levels in this are like 10 seconds long, even in Dark Worlds. But this chapter in general, whoa. has so many levels that are like 15, 20 seconds long that it's just so long. Especially this one, which we'll see in a, like this part right here, just at the beginning, it takes like 8 seconds just to get out into the open part of this level, which we're gonna have to like repeat as we unlock the warp zone, but we cannot do that on this one. We're gonna do it on our next time through it. When the block comes back, you can clip through floors, which is really cool. There are some really cool uses to that, but we're not using them on this run. Okay, missed the jump there. That's fine. Mostly because they're pretty tight, but you can use them to clip up into like ceilings to help you skip parts of it, and then down. But again, the problem really is that most of these levels are so fast. Oh, whoops. I almost did the wrong strat. It ended up mattering though. But most of these levels are so fast that you can have to be pretty consistent on those to actually make sense to do them. And right now my consistency is not as high as I would like. Okay, here you got some fans. You do not want to be that high up as I was there, because once you fall back down, you'll hit that fan. One thing that I think is like really, honestly, pretty good about the game design in this game is Meat Boy's really fast. All the characters in general. Maybe not all of them. A lot of the characters are really fast. It wants you to play this game fast. There's a reason why this game is really known for speedrunning. And it's because of that. This warp zone sort of goes against that, and it instead just like, you have to do some, I don't know, really weird maneuvers in some of these. So it's a little bit strange, unlike the other ones, but no problems here. Now we're going to go up to, I think, probably just like the best chapter in the game. Dark Hell. The levels in it, bangers. The music in it, a banger. Some third thing, absolute banger. Just a banger chapter in general. Time that up perfectly just to get there really fast. But yeah, this one right here is a little bit, we got to get 2 dashes like really fast. Okay, well, I gotta wait. It is like the dark chapter that the least amount of times will just give extremely long levels. They're all really fast. They are very difficult though. So it's like perfect for speedrunning just because of that. Really hard, but really fast. This level in general. Like just get, okay, cool. So we're gonna use the float. There we go, we got it. Always the last time you try it. There we go. Just dash through it. Here we gotta do like 2 quick U-turns. So we just got it right before that saw blade. Okay. I almost saved it once and then I like didn't trust myself, so it almost killed me. If you look at the bottom of the screen, there's actually a warp zone there. It's really kind of difficult to get. No way did I die there. There's no way. Alright, so we're going to try to get it from like a float. There we go. Oh, whoops. That was the wrong direction. I don't know what warp zone I thought I was going into. This one is, this one, it's really kind of quick levels. Oh, flashing light warning. I apologize for getting on this one. I think of the dark, but yeah, flashing light warning. It's really late on that actually, so it's almost like a bad warning, but I apologize. These things in general, sort of bad ideas, I think. They're not very, they kind of look, I don't know. I don't like them. I don't like the flashing lights on those. Alright, this is a Meat Boy level we're about to do right here. And then we're going to be going to Naija for the rest of the chapter, which will be cool. This is one where getting this bandage and then completing the level is probably like one of the more notorious ones casually. But with Naija, it's actually kind of easy. You don't have to worry that much about things. It just kind of lines up super well. We get to do the similar skip to the light version. Whoops. Alright, luckily, that mistake only cost us 1 cycle and not a full death. Whoa! Alright, well that cost us a death. After we grab that bandage, we have to do a U to get back onto a platform. Luckily, it actually works out, like, really well. It seems harder than it really is. There we go. Another example right here of those lasers aren't active until, like, half second. And we're still looking for Glitch Girl. Oh, there we go. That's crazy. I should do that more often. Oh no, okay. I should be able to save this. I don't know how. Okay, let's see. How are we going to do this? Okay, like that. I don't know if it... Alright, we got it. Okay, cool. The RNG here has been actually phenomenal. Oh no, there was... Dark Hospital's RNG wasn't very good, but we did get the super RNG on Rapture, which balances out. So overall, right now, I'd say good RNG. Unfortunately, Dark End has, like, probably the most costly RNG. So that's really where it's decided. But yeah, we're just going to be going through these really quickly with Nyjah. So take it away with any donations or anything that you want to say or need to say or whatever.
Absolutely. I do want to remind people for just joining in that we are raising money for Somos Valle. It's an amazing charity in the local San Fernando area, and even if you just have a couple dollars to spare, Tiltify, the minimum donation on there is $1, and we host our campaign on Tiltify. So even if you just have $1 or $2 to spare, it's a super small charity. They have about 50,000 in annual funding, so you know, any dollar, any cent matters for them. We've raised $1,361 so far, and we can definitely keep reaching that.
Yeah, let's go. Oh, whoops! I messed that up. Let's see if I can somehow save this. Oh, I was really close. I'm just gonna die.
And we still have some time to meet that bonus 80% run for your incentive.
How close are we on that one? We're 65 away.
I believe we're 65 away. Yes.
Okay, we have probably like 10 minutes to go on, well actually a little bit more than 10, 15 minutes to go on this one. So get that, right now is the time. You know, this is also the last day of the marathon.
Yeah, get your donations in for it.
Yeah.
If you want to see any % wrong warp.
Alright, this is like, it doesn't matter the category. This level is always just like a pain in the butt. Alright, cool, but at least the, eyeball disappeared there. And we got Glitch Girl, so we're ready to move on. I always have to remind myself that I got a Glitch Girl. Because I will forget. Like, I will forget that. Oh, I guess I didn't get an A+ on one of these. Oh well, we'll have to do the light version over again. A dash right there is supposed to get you over, but I guess I did that a little bit early. I don't know. We're gonna use the float ability here. This is like... Oh no, I used Meat Boy on one of these levels. Might even be 2. But, yeah, this is going to be mostly Nyjah here. The dash ability is, like, really useful. Especially right here, you can just, like, go over the top. And it lets you skip one of, like, the very harder parts of the run. Okay, we got it. This level is, like, honestly, probably deceivingly one of the harder ones. Is 3-4X, because there's all those saws and everything here. There's, like, an optional grind that you can do here where you look for Glitch Girl on purpose on that level. And so you just die over and over until you get Glitch Girl. One of the problems is that, like, it in terms of trying to get, like, if you were to do one run and try to get to your lowest time possible, you would never do that strat because you are going to, like, lose time on average doing it. The problem is that if you get it, let's say you go to that level, that's where you get Glitch Girl, you are going to save like 8 to 10 seconds, like a pretty good chunk of time. But it's just unlikely that you get it there. I don't remember how many times you can die before it doesn't save time, but it's not a lot. Alright, this one's cool. You can see like a skull in the background, which is kind of cool. This level can be kind of, it can like cheese you because those rockets, they are on frame rules, which essentially like they will shoot out. Once they see you, the time between when they shoot is not necessarily going to be consistent. And that can be very frustrating. Oh, what? Okay, well that's not how you're supposed to do that, but that worked out kind of. Whoa! Got a super dash there. Super dash again is the frame perfect dash. It gives you like ultra height. If you think about how the dash works, to explain how the dash works is that, again, it just takes your speed and then it adds a, like a speed vector to it. So it just completely 100% adds to it. Same value every single time. When you press down that special button, so which would be for Nyjah a dash, you're going to go into that bubble state, and so that's going to like immediately, as we use Nyjah there to just flip through, which is cool. We're going to just jump through some saw blades. But yeah, if you were to never get into that bubble, your speed would not be lowered. And if your speed wouldn't be lowered, then that vector that dash adds onto your speed would, you know, add to a higher speed value, so your speed would be higher. Like especially just in general, actually, that bubble affects your speed all over the place. So if you dash the same frame that you let go of jump, something like that, I don't know. I just do it. I don't remember how it works. But it is frame perfect in order to get that, and then it allows you essentially to have more speed off of a dash. Nyjah, when she is not dashing, is impossible, I swear. Whoa, okay. Really a super heavy character. Oh, okay. Well, you're supposed to do this float off of the start of the level, so right now it's just like luck. Alright, cool, we got the good luck there. But yeah, if I did not line that up super well, so, oh gosh. I was trying to do a strat that I was never good at in the first place, and I'm rusty right now. I don't know why I went for it. But yeah, to put the super dash into consideration, if you super dash... Okay, I just missed the jump. If you super dash with Nyjah, you go like directly onto that bandage platform. Whereas when you don't have it, yeah, like that. When you don't have it, you're like 2 blocks lower. Which does not... Dude, it doesn't seem like a lot, but it is. Okay. This level drives me crazy. I'm one step away from changing to Meat Boy. Just for this level. Not that it's easy with Meat Boy. But I switch here for Meat Boy anyways. That dash at the end also kind of stinks because since Nyjah has that like really heavy gravity value, you can like completely fall off. Instead of going to that hole where Bandage Girl is. With Meat Boy, it's not really that much of a risk. But with Nyjah, it does end up being just a bit different. Alright, so on this one, we are going to have to climb back up. I actually wish that I did not touch those dust blocks, because it does change some things as I'm falling down. Doesn't necessarily mean anything bad, but doesn't mean anything good. Let's see. Okay, yeah, we're fine.
Would we have
because
a moment
those rockets again are on frame rules, you can... Oh, we got Steve from Minecraft. We got Minecraft Steve. Let's go.
Would we have a moment
we actually...
tread?
What's that?
Would we have a moment tread?
Give me 30 seconds, because we are going to use Minecraft Steve, and I want to explain why, and then we will get that. So, I skipped getting Ogmo, which is unlockable character a bit ago, and it's specifically so we can get Steve and do this, which makes normally you have to like sit on that platform and wait for it, but if Steve can like go through blocks, and so we get that, and then we get that in legitimately like 3 seconds. So yeah, then we get Ogmo, and Ogmo's got a double jump. It's like Kid, but better. Not actually better, it's worse, but I think it's better. But yeah, go ahead.
Alright, thank you. We just a couple minutes ago, we got an amazing $100 anonymous donation. Thank you so much. No comment, but that did go towards the Hollow Knight Pantheon of Hallownest incentive, so that's now sitting at $100 out of $150. So we only need $50 more towards that.
Nice. Let's go.
Thank you so much, and we're almost at $1,500.
Oh, let's get 1,500. Yeah, that is what, $39 away.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, we are right here to the end of this run. We have a few levels to go. This routing, like a lot of stuff in this game, is going to be kind of weird. We're going to start on the 4th level of this. It is technically not faster, but also it's faster. The chance of getting Glitch Girl in this is pretty low. It's like 10 to 12%. It's not great that we get it this entire chapter, just because there's 5 levels. So much fewer odds of just... Whoa. Alright, that throws off my... Gosh. Okay, that threw off my cycle, and... This is one level that you do not want to improv on. This also scares me too. Okay, we're fine. Anyways... So we would want to get Glitch Girl to go through this, because this is a level where if we did not get Glitch Girl, it would actually lose a ton of time. And a big reason why is that most of these levels, or most of these worlds, do not have a dark boss. And by most of them, I mean every single one but this one. Nice, got that skip. Oh, let's go. Alright, this is a fantastic RNG. This run has had better RNG that I've had in a long time. And this is actually like a fairly fast place to get it on that route. Whoa. Okay. But yeah, if we were to not get Glitch Girl going through this, you would have to go through on one of the levels, like 6-2 ends up being one of the better ones to grind on. And that level takes like 20 seconds if you're going extremely fast to beat. And also you have a boss to beat, so you're not getting 100% until you beat the boss. And then once you beat, there's a bunch of stuff that you have to go back through. It's not like when you beat, the last level of Rapture where you're just going back to the map. It actually spits you out over the top of Cotton Alley, and then you have to go back and you have to re-enter the chapter. And so you're talking about like a whole like 10-15 seconds to just go back and reattempt something. And then from there, again, 6-2 is the level that you'd want to grind on if you were to go 1 through 5. And that's already adding at a minimum about 20 seconds, and that's if you got it first try when going back. Whereas this level, you can see Bandage Girl at the very beginning and you can just die. So the idea is this is the last level that you're going to do, and you're just going to grind right there. The odds are a little bit lower, but that's fine. It's not a huge deal. Alright, I need to concentrate on this just for like a moment. You like just slide underneath that platform and it lets you get this really fast cycle. Nice. Alright, that's pretty cool. This level can take like, even like, I don't know, 40 seconds. So getting it done in like 32 is really good. And so this is going to be it for the game. This is Dark Fetus. It's essentially the same thing. Like it is almost like there's like a couple things like that guy going back and forth or something. I don't even know. There's like a second thing that's spinning here. It's like almost the same thing as the light version, but once you pass it, it's not a big deal. Still an auto scroller, still the same thing applies. Still go over the top of that one thing, still go over to a button. Still wait there for like 20 seconds as that scrolls by. So I want to thank Super Meat Boy community. Who do I thank? My dog for not barking this whole run. I'm honestly proud of him. He barks a lot, and he didn't bark this whole run. So that's pretty good of him. Crap. This very beginning is pretty tough. Thanks to everybody that hangs out when I stream. You guys make it a lot of fun to do this. Thanks for everybody who's donated to this event in general. That's... Alright, so we're going to end it in just like 5 seconds here. As we do the same sort of thing. And that's time. Again, we're just jumping up to where normally if you'd go doing the normal platforming at the same level as where the cutscene trigger would be, and it just extends a little bit beyond it, and we use that to trigger it. Alright, did that any % wrong warp thing get met?
Unfortunately, that earlier $100 donation was with the Hollow Knight Pantheon of Hollowness incentive, so unfortunately, no.
Sounds good. Well, that will be it for me. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And thank you, Completithon, for having me. It was a lot of fun. Oh, let's really quickly see how many deaths we got. Chat, do you have any guesses for deaths? I think that was like 101. Not my best showing, but not my worst. In terms of deaths, it was pretty low. Didn't have to grind it all.
I'm gonna say 90.
I actually was about to say lowering it to 90. I'm gonna stick to 101. But let's see. 102!
Oh, so close!
Hold up. I can fix this. I can be correct. Hold up. I gotta close the game. I gotta reopen the game. I need to be right. I'm dead serious right now. This is not a joke. I'm taking away that death. 101, I got it exactly right. Don't pay attention, it says 105 now. Don't pay attention to that. Alright, but anyways, thank you everybody. Thanks for having me. Adios.
Alright everyone, that is an awesome run of Super Meat Boy by Shredberg. And an awesome $100 donation as well, putting us to $1,461. Thank you to whoever put that in there. We're so close to $1,500 raised for Summer's Familia Valle, and it would be amazing if we can hit that, maybe even before this next run starts. But the next run, unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. The next run is also our last run. Finishing our Completithon 2023 will be Hollow Knight by Noodles. And it'll be the 100% true ending category. What an ending! You definitely don't want to miss this as we're getting this set up here. And yeah, I'm super happy to have you all here. Have you all supporting Summer's Familia Valle. I'm still George, and we will be right back with that run once it's set up. So stick tight, enjoy the tunes, and keep on learning to Summer's Familia Valle. And while you're enjoying these tunes, just a reminder that Midwar for Hollow Knight is still open. You definitely want to get your donations in, because that will obviously mid-run will close at some point, and so you don't want to miss it. If you want to save or kill the Nail Smith, save is currently sitting at $59, and kill the Nail Smith is sitting at $143. So you can change that mid-war, and we can raise $1,500 in the same process. So let's go do that, and we'll take a short break. Alright, everyone. We are almost ready here for Hollow Knight by Noodles, but my time here on the hosting mic is unfortunately over. This was my final hosting shift for the event. We have one more run left to go, and it'll be hosted by the absolutely wonderful Fox host. Fox host. Well, that works too. She's gonna be your host, and yeah, I'll leave you in her absolutely capable hands/voice.
Thank you so much, George. That's right. I am here for your finale and final run of Hollow Knight by Noodle.